And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to part 15 of Sonadow Play the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. Joining me as per usual is my lovely girlfriend, IMShadow 007. Say hello, hon.
Hello.
And we are starting the fifth game in the series, Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, which, story-wise, is actually my favorite of the series.
Really?
Soundtrack-wise, it's also my favorite.
So this game surpasses Trials and Tribulations.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, in my...
Music, please.
Well, yeah.
As you say, in your opinion. Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Right. And, let's see. A little bit of history. This game came out in 2013, so there was a long pause between Apollo Justice and this game.
Oh, wow.
Hence why this game is on the 3DS. We've got fully animated cutscenes and 3D graphics.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
But story-wise, it takes place a year after Apollo Justice, so it takes place in 2027.
Rest in peace, my vocal cords.
These are dark times, where the law has been reduced to rubble, and it's up to us to restore it to its former glory. Yeah, I know what you mean. It looks like your target finally decided to make a move. Don't you worry. I've got a trusty new partner on board.
Done. Ready to go? You bet. Let's do this.
She's been with us for half a year, though I can hardly believe it. Anyway, her power will be our greatest weapon.
Are you all right, miss?
Yeah, it's for this very reason I returned. Time to bring it to an end.
Episode 1, Turnabout Countdown.
Jarl Wendy Lee voices Athena.
Yeah, it's not Monica Rial. Thank God.
Yeah, it's Wendy Lee. Faye from Cowboy Bebop.
The best thing about bombs is how they erase and destroy, without discretion. Now all I have to do is pin everything on that little girl. December 17th. Oh, pretty close to the actual date. 9:22.
I know. I was gonna say.
Defendant lobby number 5.
Nope. Not feeling nervous at all. It's amazing what a girl can get used to. Even a tense atmosphere like this is no biggie. Oh, Peanut, Apollo.
You doing okay, Athena?
Oh, Apollo. Yeah, doing great. Like, I'm a little tune great.
Oh yeah? Well, that's good to hear. Although, I could have sworn I heard your voice crack for a second there.
Ugh, I'm that transparent, huh?
Yes, you are.
Cracking? No, my voice isn't cracking. Nerves of steel here, I tell you. This is Apollo Justice. He's a fellow lawyer at the office I work for. Apollo is the lead of the defense in the case. But I'm going to be there at the bench with him, doing what I can to help out. I'll do whatever it takes to defend Junie. Speaking of steel, how are you holding up? That explosion really did a number on you.
I'm just happy that you're okay, Athena. Although, I can't pretend I have no connection to this case. That's why I'm going to see to it that Juniper's name is cleared. And I'm sure you feel much the same way.
You got that right. I won't rest until Junie is completely clear of all suspicion. Apollo? Dina? Thank you for doing this for me. Junie! Hey, are you okay? Sorry about that. I always seem to go into coughing fits whenever I get nervous. This kind of thing never happens at home in the forest, though. This is Juniper Woods. She's my dear, dear childhood friend, and she's also our client for this case. The news keeps repeating that Junie is the alleged bomber. But that's ridiculous! There's no way Junie would do anything like that! I brought you a little snack, Dina. Just a little something from my garden.
Don't start handing out oranges. Haven't you ever seen The Godfather?
Oh god. Hey, thanks! So, is this an orange or a tangerine? It's an orange. My grandma says that orange is the color of strength and endurance. Oh, I get it. Strength of the trial, right? Junie, you're always so good to me. Jeez, look at me, standing here clutching an orange to my chest with tears in my eyes. Well, don't you worry. We'll be so powerful in there, they won't know what hit him. Right, Apollo?
Yeah, that's right. Come what may, this is one trial we just can't lose. Well, he's dead.
Apollo? Apollo! Blood is seeping through his bandages. One of his wounds must have reopened.
Yeah, just to say this very quickly, this was the first Ace Attorney game to get an M rating.
Yes, and you'll see why as we go on. All this time he was trying to pull on a brave face, but he was really overdoing it.
Mr. Justice!
No. Huh?
The trial is about to start, sir. Please, proceed to the courtroom.
What? Now? But Apollo's in no state to defend!
Ow! Defend Juniper.
What are we gonna do? The trial's about to start with or without us. There's only one other option I can think of at a time like this. I'm gonna be the main character. But even if I call him now, he'd never get here in time. No, wait. There's something else I can do. Apollo, give me all the evidence for the case.
Huh? What are you gonna do?
Bailiff,
Yes, miss?
the defense would like to submit a substitution of attorney petition. Athena!
You're not seriously...
You just concentrate on getting better. I'll defend Junie.
All by yourself? Athena, stop for a second. Think about what you're saying. You've never once taken a case alone before, right?
No hay problema. I can handle it. I think.
Suddenly Athena's speaking Spanish.
But I guess it's really up to you, Junie. Would you be okay with me taking over? Sure. I believe in you, Athena. And that's enough for me. You're worried for me, aren't you? To be honest, I'm pretty nervous too. I think my heart might just burst out of my chest. But you're in no shape to stand at the bench now. So you just have to leave it to me.
Alright. I can see your mind's made up anyway. I hate it that I can't be there. But I know you'll give your utmost to defend Juniper.
You bet I will. Rest assured of that. My name is Athena Sykes. I'm still just a newbie, but I'm a lawyer. This is only the second time I've taken the lead in a defense case. It'll be the first time I stand up there alone, though. But I have to do this. And I'm definitely not about to let anything bad happen to Junie.
December 17th, 9:46 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 5.
Okay, that's cool.
Court is now in session for the trial of Juniper Woods.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is also ready, Your Honor. Haha. And what is the meaning of this? I was under the impression that Mr. Red Monkey would be the opponent today. Yes, well, a substitution of attorney petition was submitted just a few moments ago. Due to the explosion in the courthouse yesterday, Mr. Justice is unable to continue. I see. Not at all surprised he used that as an excuse to run away. Dude, have you seen the state of him? He's lucky to be alive.
Dude! I know, right?
With me as an adversary, who wouldn't want to feign illness in order to escape?
What? The nerve of that guy! I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind! Well, I would if I wasn't so nervous. Ugh, this arrogant jerk.
You arrogant jerk!
No! Widget!
Is my hearing getting worse? I could have sworn I heard the defense say something just now.
No! You didn't hear anything at all! Especially not for me!
How odd. I could have sworn I also heard something.
Oh, that would be my indispensable partner, Widget. He sometimes blurts out what I'm thinking.
Well then. If that's the case, then it's a clear contradiction as to what you just stated.
A contradiction?
You just stated that you said nothing. However, if that device of yours says what you're thinking, then you indeed said I was... What was it? Elegance at work?
Ugh. Actually, it was arrogant jerk!
At any rate, what does it matter if it's a red monkey or a yellow monkey facing me? No fresh out of law school rookie can defend this witness. Mr. Payne, I believe that's enough. Let us get back to the case. Of course, Your Honor. I'm more than ready to show this little girl why they call me the Rookie Humiliator.
I knew it. He really is an arrogant jerk.
Oh yeah, I should point out, this isn't Winston Payne, it's his brother.
Yes.
Freaking jerk!
Miss Sykes, if you continue to insult the prosecution, I will remove you from this court.
Ugh, I'm very sorry. It was just a knee-jerk reaction.
Now then, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, if you please. Thank you, Your Honor. Now then, the incident occurred yesterday here at the very courthouse in courtroom number 4. At a time the trial was for a certain bombing was being held in courtroom number 4. Yes, I was presiding over that trial as well. And Mr. Justice was there as the lawyer for the defense. A bomb that was being presented as evidence suddenly went off during the trial. It was a terrible incident, and courtroom number 4 was completely destroyed. Fortunately, we were able to start evacuation procedures before the explosion occurred. Just a few seconds more, and it would have turned into a horrific loss of human life. But there was in fact one death, was there not? Yes, and this is another reason this game got an M rating. Freaking terrorism.
Yes!
That is correct, Your Honor. When courtroom number 4 was examined after the blast, the body of Detective Candace Candace Arm was discovered. And yes, this game actually has blood.
Yes!
She was to take the stand as a witness later in the trial.
Oh, Candace Arm!
Candace Arm! Alright, now I get it.
Ah.
I suppose she wasn't able to evacuate in time. What a terrible tragedy. I must admit, I stumbled at least 10 times before I was able to escape.
Maybe the court should see about getting you even shorter robes.
The victim's body was found near the entrance to the courtroom. I suspect she stayed until the very end to help guide the others out safely. Your Honor, allow me to submit as evidence the victim's autopsy report and details about the bomb. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you might notice as well all the sound effects are completely different now.
Yep.
They've all been updated for new technology.
Okay, I know how this works. All evidence for the trial is filed in the court record. And I want to check something out. I just use RB. I better take a peek later.
Yeah, I can see why they put all this stuff in, because it'd been, what, how many years between Ace Attorney Game 6?
Yeah.
Now then, please call the accused to the witness stand. Now I get to take a break. Defendant, are you feeling alright? You're looking a bit pale.
I'm so sorry. I was feeling a bit weak when I first arrived here at the courthouse. I liked how she uses sunflowers as an inhaler. But I'm alright. Junie's really giving it her all. I better make sure I do the same.
If you could please proceed. Your name and occupation, defendant.
Juniper Woods. I'm a high school student.
Miss Woods, could you confirm you were in the courthouse on the day in question?
Yes. I came to know Apollo Justice through my friend Thena. And so, I was there yesterday to watch his trial and lend my support. Something's wrong. Junie's really scared.
Did you know I'm also known as the Defendant Humiliator? It looks like I have yet another chance to show everyone how I earned that moniker.
Does his arrogance know no bounds? I had to protect Junie no matter what.
Yeah, seriously, he's worse than his brother.
I know. Hey, you arrogant... I'm... Prosecutor Payne!
What is it? You want me to demonstrate why I'm known as the Rookie Humiliator instead?
Deep breath, Athena. Don't let him get to you. What I also love about each protagonist is the unique finger points.
Yeah.
Prosecutor Payne, Junie is telling the truth. Mr. Justice also backed up her claim when we saw him in the defendant lobby. And Junie, he said that he was glad to get the lotus fruit you gave him too. He was? My grandma says lotus root is good for your eyes. She says they can even help you see into the future. They can? Then that's the perfect present for a lawyer. And if that's true, I guess he must have not have eaten them.
A sweet, meek girl like this, blowing a courtroom to bits? I must say, it's very hard to believe.
Objection!
Now, Your Honor. Don't let her seemingly innocent appearance fool you. The defendant had a motive for committing this crime.
That's not true! I don't have any kind of motive! And I didn't even know that lady who was killed!
I admit the investigation didn't turn up any connection between the victim and defendant. However, that doesn't matter. The only thing that does is her objective was the destruction of courtroom number 4 itself.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Why in the world would Miss Woods want to do that?
That's a very good question, coming from a novice such as yourself. But first, a question for the defendant. Have you ever been brought up on false charges?
What? Why? Yes, I have.
And did that experience cause you to harbor a grudge against the court system?
Objection!
Now, wait just 1 minute. If that kind of thing was a motive for blowing things up, then every one of our clients would turn into bombers.
I mean, she's got a point.
I know.
That's a valid point. We wouldn't have a single courthouse left standing in the land. I concede the accused isn't the only one who might bear resentment against the courts. But Miss Woods is the only person who could have committed this crime. Why? Because we have found some decisive evidence that proves the defendant's guilt.
Decisive, huh? I'll believe it when I see it.
It involves a very unique aspect of the bomb itself, Your Honor. And what exactly was so unique about it? Why don't we have Miss Sykes answer that question?
Huh? Me?
I notice that you appear to be very nervous and, well, gentleman that I am, I'd like to offer you the chance to gain some confidence with such an easy question. Yeah, right.
Could he be any more condescending? Really? What a thoroughly unpleasant man.
It's for loser!
What did it just say?
Nothing. Not a single thing.
Let's go with that.
Now, let's see. What am I supposed to do at a time like this? Oh, I know. The court record. The information I need is somewhere in the court record. Let's see, yes. Check the court record to find the answer. Yes. The bomb was inside a stuffed animal.
Yep.
The autopsy. Yep.
All right, Miss Sykes, let's hear your answer. What was unique about the bomb that blew up the courtroom? Was it because?
It was inside a stuffed animal. Mr. Payne, what kind of simpleton do you take me for?
There's nothing unique about that at all. They've been using bombs and stuffed animals since the Vietnam War, and probably before that.
Hell, ever heard of letter bombs? It was stuffed inside a stuffed animal.
Try saying that 3 times fast.
Its evil intentions cover up by a cute exterior.
Very good. Have a cookie. The bomb that went off in the courtroom was indeed hidden inside a stuffed animal.
Huh, what do you think of that? Not bad, huh? I am fine, just like I said from the start. I can do this.
Yes, as I recall, the bomb was inside a stuffed animal the whole time. I never even got to take a look at it. But what connection does this impish elephant have with the defendant? The answer to that question lies in another piece of evidence, which I have here. And what, pray tell, is this? It appears to be a little singed.
A ponytail?
It's a tail, Your Honor. The tale of a poor victim of the explosion. This is incredible. Are you saying it's Detective Arm's tale? Oh, for God's sake, Judge. I should say at this point the judge is a bit flanderized.
Yes.
Your Honor is so very close, but no. It belongs to this stuffed animal.
Oh.
It's called the Phony Fanty. A rather unpleasant name if you ask me. He's the mascot for a campaign to eliminate false evidence and false charges, is he not? Exactly. His motto is phony evidence is just trunked up. Oh, for God's sake.
That's so wrong on so many levels.
I agree. The Phony Fanty's tail is made of vinyl cloth, and we found something very interesting on its surface. The defendant's fingerprints.
What?
The Phony Fanty provided the prosecution with all the evidence we needed. It clearly proves that the accused handled the bomb.
That doesn't make any sense. How would Ginny's fingerprints be on it?
That does appear to be pretty irrefutable evidence. The court accepts it into evidence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Woods, do you have an explanation for this?
I don't understand.
How about you, Miss Sykes? Do you have any plausible explanation to refute this decisive piece of evidence?
Well, I can't do it. Can't think of a single thing. I'd better come up with something for Junie's sake.
If you can't produce an answer, we could always go straight to the ruling, if you prefer.
No! I have to say something fast! Oh no! I can't get my voice to work! Why now of all times? Thought I overcame this already. Maybe I'm still not ready to stand in court.
As you can see, there is no room for debate.
Objection!
Why, it's you!
Sorry it took me so long to get here, Athena. Apollo explained the whole thing to me over the phone. He asked me to come help you out in his place.
Thanks for coming.
I don't know who voices the judge, and I think Payne is voiced by Vic Mignogna. It sounds like him.
Oh, Jarl, those aren't panic attacks. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, just don't say anything just now.
I'm not gonna say anything because Jarl, you'll never be ready for this. I hate to admit it, but I was having a real rough time on my own.
Oh, I don't know. I think you were doing just fine, all things considered. No, Kirby-Bot, it doesn't have scenes from the show. These cutscenes in these games were actually made before the anime.
Yes.
And you hung in there, giving me enough time to get here. Now let's turn things around.
You got it, boss.
Look who showed up out of the blue. If it isn't Mr. Phoenix Wright, you always manage to surprise me.
Your Honor, Mr. Payne has called for an early ruling. But I believe there are still many things that need to be deliberated. How did Miss Wood's fingerprints wind up on a stuffed animal tail? How was the bomb even detonated? Until these questions are answered, I assert it's impossible for a fair ruling to be made.
You are absolutely right. Let us continue from where we left off. I assume you have no objections, Mr. Payne?
None at all, Your Honor. Miss Woods really looks like she's having a hard time.
Ginny's really struggling, Mr. Wright. I get the sense she's afraid of the courtroom itself.
Because of yesterday?
Yeah, it was understandably very traumatic for her.
I think anyone involved would be traumatic for them. It was a freaking bombing, for Christ's sake.
Notice how the word traumatic is highlighted. In case you didn't see, Athena has PTSD.
Poor thing. And here she is, back at the courthouse again, being so brave. I'd like to make a request, Your Honor. If at all possible, I'd like to have Miss Woods rest in the lobby.
Given the defendant's condition. Very well. I grant special permission.
You go get some rest, Junie, and leave the rest to us. Okay, thank you. Sorry about this.
Phoenix Wright. I've been looking forward to meeting you. It's been a while, Mr. Payne. You're more clueless than I heard. I do believe you mean, how do you do? For I am gasp in pain.
Gasp in pain.
Yes, I didn't even feel the need to explain it. I'm the younger brother of your long-standing rival, Winston Payne. What? Long-standing rival? When were we ever rivals? Let alone long-standing.
The great Ace Attorney will confirm that.
You'll see, Mr. Wright. I will cleanse Winston of the disgrace he met with at your hands. Looks like this royal pain is going to be as thoroughly unpleasant as the other.
And yes, I'm not kidding, folks. The great Ace Attorney explains you see the Payne ancestry too.
Yep, you do. You see pretty much the ancestry of everyone in that game. We will get to that one eventually.
Yes.
Your Honor, the prosecution would now like to call a decisive witness to the stand. The witness will testify as to how the accused detonated the bomb in the courtroom.
Very well. Please call your witness, Mr. Payne.
Oh, great, this guy.
Uh-huh.
Police!
He speaks in all caps.
Get that guy!
Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Witness?
Name, Ted Tonate. Occupation,
Detonate.
bomb disposal specialist.
Oh my, what a strange robotic voice you have.
Speech synthesis via typing. It is the same as me talking.
He sounds exactly like a robot.
Can't you speak in a normal manner?
I can. He can? But I do not like to speak. Speaking is inefficient. Energy expenditure. Speaking over typing. Understand?
What an odd witness.
And given what we've seen in the last 4 games, that's saying something.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mr. Tonate. Mr. Tonate was in charge of the bomb for the trial and was there when it went off.
Being a bomb squad specialist, do you have any relation to the victim?
Negative. I first met the girl while on this job. Many people are employed by the police. I know only a fraction of them. However, I was shocked when I first discovered the body of the victim.
Shocked?
I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body. So he was the first to discover the body, was he? He's here to testify about the circumstances surrounding the moment of the explosion.
Very well. The court will hear Mr. Tonate's testimony. But at the very least, show the court some respect and remove that face guard witness.
Yeah. RoboCop? Ah, yes. The 3D.
The bomb was originally disarmed by me, then transported here as evidence. Bomb name HH3000, operated by timer or with a remote. I was watching from the gallery when I suddenly became alarmed. I saw that the bomb timer was counting down.
Ugh, the eyes.
It's just goggles.
I know, but still.
So even though the bomb was supposed to be disarmed, it somehow got switched on? Precisely. Activating the timer is very simple. 1. Connect wires. 2. Switch on timer. A monkey could do it. I am sure even you would be able to, Mr. Wright.
I guess it makes you the blue monkey in this barrel of fun, boss.
Ahem. I'd like to begin my cross-examination. Huh?
Mr. Tenay, what is that?
HH3000, aka a bomb.
A bomb? Great googly. Ah! Mr. Tenay, I demand you disarm it this instant.
What the?
Disassembly complete. 5.3 seconds, 0.2 seconds short of my personal best.
Are you trying to give me a heart attack? I'm not exactly a spring chicken, you know.
This is an exact replica of the HH3000.
Ow!
It is used to practice disarming bombs. Disarm equals success. Explosion equals failure.
An exact replica of the bomb that exploded, is it? So that's what it looked like.
I submitted a photograph of the real bomb taken just before the trial. Dimensions: 10 inches, 10 inches height, 10 inches width, and 10 inches diameter. Weight 12 pounds. A perfect replication.
Your bomb does appear to be a very good copy indeed.
Yes, however, I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. It has a very puzzling wiring setup. It is regrettable I could not replicate it.
Witness, that's enough. There's no need to replicate anything here.
Thanks.
And now if the defense would begin their cross-exam... Where has Miss Sykes gone to?
Athena, you can come out now.
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's get to work.
I guess you were pretty scared, huh?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
She was about to bolt.
Hey, stalking it, widget.
As transparent as ever.
Now let's see. Where were we?
We were at the cross-examination.
Oh, cross-examination. Of course.
She seems disoriented. I wonder if she's all right. Maybe I should ask Athena if she remembers how to cross-examine to help her focus.
She'll be fine.
Nah, no need for that right now. She'll be fine.
I'll do everything I can to help. If you can't find any contradictions, and you flub up too often, don't be afraid to ask me for help. Press Y when the option to consult with me appears. I'll let you know where I think the suspicion statement is.
Sounds good. I'll be counting on you if I get in a bind. All right, it's cross-examination time.
Present the HH3000 bomber on the Ford statement.
Objection!
Yep.
So you say you saw the bomb's countdown. Is that right? Of course, I clearly saw it counting down to 0. And I say that you're clearly lying. What are you talking about? There is no way you could have seen the bomb's timer. After all, the bomb was concealed inside a stuffed animal. Mr. Tenay, how can you claim to know the bomb was about to go off when you couldn't even see the timer? But that was... What? No!
That does seem like a glaring inconsistency indeed. Witness, how do you explain this?
Well, I...
Oh, that was great, Mr. Wright! You found a contradiction right off the bat.
Always remember, Athena, when you find an inconsistency in a witness's testimony, there's always a reason behind it. It could be a lie, a hidden meaning, a secret. Whatever it is, it's up to us to dig it out.
And pointing out every contradiction we find is the best way to do it, right, boss?
Now the question is, what can we dig out of Mr. Tenate? Well, let me see. I married. No, there must be some mistake. Oh, yes, of course. I remember now. The sound. I knew because of the sound.
Sound? What sound?
When the timer of this type of bomb is switched on, it beeps softly. Beep, beep, boop. I am a robot from the future. It is the sound of the bomb counting down.
A beeping noise, you say? I suppose it would be possible to notice that even with the bomb inside the stuffed animal.
I simply made a mistake. My bad.
Objection!
How in the world did you hear such a tiny little sound all the way from the gallery? Listening for the sound of a bomb's timer is an integral part of my work. I constantly undergo training so I will never miss it. I mean, that's a good point. I hardly think training would help you hear something so soft from so far away.
Stop that!
What now? Are you making light of the fine science of disarming bombs? It is a solemn mission that I put my life on the line to perform. What kind of specialist would I be if I could not hear a bomb's timer? It's not like disassembling a toaster, you know. Now he's just showing off. You keep asserting that the sound was too tiny to hear, but the only tiny thing here is your skill as a lawyer. Being mistrustful is not an attractive quality, you know. And you're just overflowing with attractive qualities, are you? Or perhaps you have some proof that Mr. Tenate did not hear the sound. Well, no, but it still seems totally suspect. But it's going to be really hard to prove that he didn't hear something.
If I have this correct, the prosecution's argument is that someone reactivated the bomb before it was brought into the courtroom. Well, what I don't understand, Mr. Payne, is why you believe that person to be Miss Woods.
That's simple, Your Honor. Mr. Tenate happened to be there when it happened. He was there when the defendant rearmed the bomb. So, this little girl who lives in the woods versus an expert on bombs, and you think it was the little girl.
I know, right? Logic?
What's this now?
It happened before the trial started. It was when Detective Arm and I were transporting the bomb. We brought the bomb to the lobby for the defense. Bomb equals evidence. The lawyer wanted to see it before the start of the trial. Looking for a chance to get at the bomb, Miss Woods was already there in the lobby. Her goal was surely to rearm the bomb and steal the remote switch.
Again, how did a country bumpkin know anything about a bomb?
The remote switch? Yes, the switch that controls the bomb remotely. Duh. It has been missing ever since the incident.
Thank you.
I am partially to blame. I left the bomb and remote on top of the transport case, and they were rearmed and stolen while I was talking with the lawyer. The defendant that used the remote from inside the courtroom to start the timer.
Objection!
How can you assert so unequivocally that the bomb was rearmed in the lobby?
Objection!
The bomb was safely secured in the transport case. The only time it was outside of the case was in that lobby. Therefore, that was the one and only opportunity anyone had to meddle with it. Someone other than Mr. Tenate could have opened the case and taken the bomb out. Impossible. The transport case is assigned exclusively to me. Do you see this number here? That is my identification number. And I have the only key that can open the case. Nevertheless, Mr. Payne's assertion is nothing more than conjecture. You have no proof that it was Miss Woods who stole the remote switch. And by the same token, you have no proof that it wasn't her. But what I do have is a piece of evidence that proves that the defendant handled the bomb. Ah! The tail! 5 minutes, 24 seconds, 2.3 disseconds. The defense's advantage lasted a mere 5 minutes. Ugh, talk about a rotten hand. As long as they have her fingerprints as their trump card, I'm at a big disadvantage.
It appears we will have to hear from the defendant herself once more.
I wholeheartedly agree, Your Honor. I would like to recall Miss Woods to the stand.
I trust you have no objections, Mr. Wright.
I'm worried about her condition, but we do need her testimony. On the other hand, I'm not sure I want to make Athena mad.
I can read your feelings, you know, boss.
Guess there's no hiding from her, huh?
Don't worry. I know we need her testimony. But if anybody picks on her again, they'll pay.
Guess she's already at anger level 1. Yeah, I said that earlier. I think Payne's voiced by Vic Mignogna. It sounds like him.
Check the wiki, guys. Don't worry. I'll stop the proceedings before I let anything bad happen to her.
The defense has no objections, Your Honor. In that case, I will take my leave. But before I do, there is just one more thing, Mr. Wright. Is it? Me? Yes. Dismantling bombs is my job. Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try. Ugh. This guy is hiding something. I just know it. Now, if you will excuse me.
Bailiff, please go out to the lobby and bring back the defendant.
Junie! Hi, Athena.
She looks even worse off than before.
Don't worry, Junie. We're here for you. Thanks, Tina. And I'll do my best, too.
You blew up the courtroom because you bear resentment against the courts, correct?
No! Of course not!
What's that you say? I can barely hear you.
I haven't done anything wrong! The prosecution's scary.
Objection!
Oh yeah, that's definitely Vic.
Oh yeah, that's Vic.
What an impudent little girl. Stop acting innocent and tell the truth. This is getting ugly. You rearmed the bomb because you wanted to blow up the courthouse. Admit it! That's why you went to the lobby where Mr. Justice was. Isn't that right?
Mr. Wright, can I go get that prosecutor a smack?
Yeah, go nuts. What? Of course not! Do we have to review Courtroom Manners 101 again?
We can't let a creep let bullies innocent girls like this off so easily.
I haven't forgotten about how he treated you.
Don't worry about me, just help Junie! Her heart's crying out. She's so scared, so very scared.
Looks like Athena's picking something up with her heightened sense of hearing. And it sounds like it's time. Sounds like this time it's the voice of Miss Woods' heart. Don't deny it. Don't deny it. You stole the remote switch and used it in the courtroom, didn't you?
Objection!
Your Honor, please put a stop to this. Mr. Payne is badgering the defendant.
Yes, Miss Woods does seem quite frightened. Mr. Payne, I ask that you behave more like a gentleman.
Ah, but don't you know, Your Honor? There's no more a gentleman in this world than I.
Fuck you. Ugh, as if a gentleman or even a gentleman would have behaved like he does.
Yeah, Winston was just a silly comic relief. This guy is legit an asshole.
Yeah, Gaspin's a dick. Don't let that rude ruffian win! Ina.
How dare you call a gentleman such as I a rude ruffian? I'll have you know I attend a manners class every Saturday. Sure you do. I'm more than just a mere gentleman. I'm a... Is this a reference to Gentleman, the song? I'm a motherfucker gentleman.
Gentleman. Oh, God. Not when you're terrorizing a young lady, you're not. I demand my money back from that manners class if I were you.
I should probably be the adult here and stop the two of them, but...
Mr. Payne, that will be enough.
Certainly, Your Honor. No further questions. Let's move on to the defendant's testimony.
Yeah, if that were in real life, he'd be thrown out.
He would. Miss Woods, please share with the court what you were doing when the bomb went off.
Well, that day, I was watching from the gallery. The bomb went off. And rubble started falling. It fell on top of me. Ginny's clearly in pain, being forced to recall the bombing like this. She can't even get her words out.
This isn't going to work, so what now? Hey, wait a minute. Even if she can't vocalize what she wants to say, we can listen to what's inside her heart. Yes, now's the perfect time to use Athena's power.
Here comes the gimmick.
You can hear it, can't you, Athena? The cries of Miss Wood's heart?
Yes, and they sound incredibly strained. She's so scared. I think she could collapse at any second.
Athena has a unique ability, you see. With her finely tuned sense of hearing, she can hear the words of a witness's heart. In essence, she can sense how a person is really feeling from the tone of their voice. Guess it's all up to Athena and her special ability now. So you mean she's good at reading people?
You know what's funny, guys? The Phoenix's Magatama, speak no evil. Apollo's bracelet, see no evil. Athena's mood matrix, hear no evil.
Athena, I want you to use the analytical psychology you studied, and listen to the testimony of Miss Wood's heart.
Okay, boss. I'll give it a go. After all, this is the whole reason they put all that effort into studying analytical psychology. Auf geht's! Let's do this!
Now she's speaking German.
She's trilingual.
So your holographic thingamabob can show you how Miss Woods is feeling, right?
In a nutshell, yes. The emotions and images that I picked up on just now while listening to your testimony, I can enter all of that into Widget and use the mood matrix to analyze them. These mood markers here reflect fluctuations in Junie's emotions. When she feels happy or is enjoying the memory, the happy marker will light up. When she feels angry or frustrated, the angry marker will react. When she feels sadness or is frightened by a memory, the sad marker will blink. And when she feels surprised or confused, the surprise marker will let us know.
So with your special ability in Widget's Mood Matrix program, we can track how Miss Woods is feeling as she testifies? Talk about the wonders of technology.
Yep, now let's give it a shot. Hold on one second. I'm picking up on some kind of discord or noise in Junie's heart. See here? This is what the noise looks like in her mood matrix. It's a result of inconsistencies between her testimony and her feelings. If we can pinpoint these inconsistencies, the noise level should drop.
Okay, it's time to listen to Miss Wood's true testimony.
All right. Go to the fifth statement. Fifth. Ah! Happy! She's feeling happy! What the hell? Press L to pin L. Press L and pinpoint and press the happiness button.
Oops. Yeah, it doesn't help. It doesn't show the controls. I'm using a controller.
Oh. Look at this. When she says it fell on top of me, the happy markers are reacting.
Now look at that. That is odd.
There must be a reason for this contradictory emotion. We just need to do some digging.
Dig some digging?
When you find unexpected emotion, you'll first need to pinpoint albeit.
Yeah, you couldn't have told me that during the screen
Yeah.
game.
And then select the unexpected emotion or reaction from the 4 moon markers with A. So, pinpoint, LB, and then A, the happiness button.
Got it!
Press. Yep.
Widget is registering joy when Miss Woods recalls the rubble falling on her. There must be a reason for this unexpected emotion. Miss Woods, as the rubble was falling, was there also something that made you feel happy?
What? Mr. Wright, this feeling of happiness is spreading throughout Junie's heart. Keep going on this point, and I bet Junie will start to calm down.
Right, let's hear what she has to say.
Just as I was about to escape the courtroom, the bomb went off. I was so startled. I tripped. And then rubble started falling on the top of me. I really thought I was done for. But just then, Apollo came and rescued me. Apollo? He used his own body to shield me from the rubble.
Now that explains why Apollo was so foobarred.
Yeah, that explains why he's covered in bandages.
So that's when he sustained those injuries.
How do you feel, Junie? Did talking about Apollo give you some courage? Yes, Apollo is just like the sun, strong and bright and warm. I get it! Just talking about him makes me feel like a leaf undergoing photosynthesis. And see, your coughing stopped all of a sudden. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Thena. Getting close.
Looks like we were able to draw out some new testimony.
Pretty neat, huh? But there's still some noise left, meaning there must be some discord in Junie's heart.
I guess we'll have to keep going then.
Let me input the new information and update in the mood matrix and we'll be good to go. You remember what to do, right?
When I find an unexpected emotion, I should pinpoint it.
That's right. And then you select it from the mood markers with A. If we can find the reason for the discord in her heart, then we should be able to draw even more new testimony out. All right, go to the 5th statement. Okay, info update. Sadness. Why is she feeling sad?
Got it!
You were happy when Mr. Justice rescued you, weren't you?
Yes, I was really happy.
But was there also something you felt sad about at the time?
Sad?
The reason I ask is, when you were describing how you were rescued, we sensed a little sadness too.
Oh! I think it's probably because of Bum Rap Riney.
Bum Rap Riney? Well, what do you know? Something new.
That's right. I brought my stuffed animal, Bum Rap Riney, to watch the trial with me. Bum Rap Riney and Phony Fancy are brothers.
Who knew that the legal work could inspire a whole line of merchandise?
I had Bum Rap Riney with me while I was watching the trial. But it wasn't until Apollo saved me that I realized I lost him as I was running away. My poor Riney, a victim of that terrible bomb. Oh, I know. You can see what he looks like in this poster. Aww. No more bum raps. It's for the campaign to eradicate fake evidence and false charges.
Phony Fanty and bum rap Riney, huh? Nothing against the campaign, but why an elephant and a rhinoceros?
Mr. Wright, I don't sense any discord in Ginny's heart anymore. She's cleared.
So I guess that means we managed to draw out all her testimony?
That's right. I'll just make an update with the new info and we'll have the whole picture. So do you think her new testimony will help?
Absolutely. I don't know what we would have done without you, Athena. So Bumrap Riney was in the courtroom when the bomb went off. Now that we know that, it changes the meaning of the other piece of evidence. All I have to do is present it at the right statement.
I was watching from the gallery with Bumrap Riney. I tried to run, but I was too slow. Before I could get out of the courtroom, the bomb went off. I was so startled I tripped. Then the rubble started falling. I thought I was done for. But then Apollo came and rescued me. That's Ginny's complete testimony. Not too bad, huh, Mr. Wright?
I should focus on the new statements Miss Woods made. The existence of Bumrap Riney should turn things around in our favor. It changes the meaning of a certain piece of evidence we already have. All I have to do is present it at the right statement. Yeah, you just said that.
Present the phony Fanty tale in the first statement.
Objection!
Miss Woods, I know this trial has been very hard for you, but you can relax now. You are without a doubt innocent.
Mr. Wright, what wild assertion are you making now?
My wild assertion is simply this. The two stuffed animals were mixed up. The tail of the defendant's fingerprints were found, and it wasn't the phony Fanty. It was the tail of her gallery companion, Bumrap Riney.
Objection!
What nonsense is that? I concede they're both stuffed animals, yes, but they're completely different characters. An elephant and a rhino. They're as distinct as a defense lawyer and a prosecutor. But are they really so different? Both defense lawyers and prosecutors strive to protect the peace through law.
Even elephants and rhinos have some similar characteristics. They're both gray, for example.
Anyway, this poster is all I need to prove my assertion to be true. If I may direct the court's attention here, you'll clearly see how the two got mixed up.
Oh, wait, let me go back. Present the tail, yeah.
Take that!
Well, would you look at that? The two tails are exactly the same.
Yes, exactly. The two stuffed animals are based on entirely different animals. But the design of the tail is exactly the same. Ah!
His wig.
Order! Order in the court! As long as the possibility exists that the tail belongs to Bumrap Riney, we can no longer consider it to be a decisive proof that the defendant handled the bomb. As things stand, I consider the charges against the accused unsubstantiated. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Payne?
Oh, yes, of course, Your Honor. Dick.
Oh, that was great, Mr. Wright! You turned things right around!
Yeah, it's not over yet, but at least we managed to hold out for this long.
I believe that brings our proceedings for today to a close. Mr. Payne, I'm afraid you have some serious investigating ahead of you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Let us reconvene tomorrow. Court is adjourned.
We still going, baby!
Yep.
That was so exciting, boss! We did it! True to form, you managed to just barely pull it off the very last moment.
True to form. Gee, I never knew you had such a glowing opinion of me.
Thank you for everything you're doing.
You did great, Miss Woods. You really stuck it out.
you got really brave at the end, just when we needed you most, Junie. Thanks to you, we were able to turn things around. Well, you were the one who gave me that courage, Dina. Really? Thanks. So, be honest, was I any help at all?
Of course! Without you, we would never have gotten out of that tight spot.
That's good to hear. I may still have a lot to learn, but you can bet I'm going to give it my all. I'll be so good that one day you'll call me your partner.
Yeah, bum rap is a little hard to take seriously in the UK because in the UK, bum is usually used for ass.
Yes.
Like somebody's bum. I know it's used in the US too, but nowhere near as much.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. Analytical psychology. The ability to solve the riddles of a person's heart. Athena's true potential is beginning to really shine through now.
Hey, where's Apollo anyway?
Oh, he died. Good question. I almost forgot about him. I assumed he'd still be here in the lobby. In his condition?
Oh, I know. Maybe he's still in courtroom number 4.
Courtroom number 4? What would he be doing at the scene of the explosion? And would he even be allowed in there?
When I came out to the lobby to rest, I told Apollo about Bumrap Riney. I told him I dropped Riney in the courtroom as I was trying to escape before the blast. And then Apollo said he had an idea where Riney might be, so we went to take a look together. Huh, I guess Apollo can be pretty nice when he wants to be.
What's that supposed to mean? So you were looking for Riney together before you were called back into courtroom number 5?
Yes. I had some time to rest, so I was able to go and look for him. But then they called me into courtroom number 5 to testify. Apollo insisted on staying there, though. With all those injuries, I wonder how he's managing. I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Wonder what it was.
He told me, I'm gonna look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper.
Just maybe he found some new piece of evidence?
Anyway, you better go and get him.
Good idea.
Where are you, Apollo? Trial's over for today. Come on, I know you're... No.
This game is rated for the following letters P, T, S, and D.
No shit.
But yeah, Athena's got severe PTSD.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, of course, you just want to hug her!
December 18th, 9:34 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. This isn't exactly how I envisioned the second day of this trial to start. But given how things ended yesterday... Good morning. The mood sure is tense. Not that that's any surprise.
Oh, hey, did you read the paper this morning, boss?
Huh? The paper? That came out of left field.
You didn't read it? Then you don't know the big news.
It's 2027. What's a newspaper?
Somebody spotted an abominable snowman way up in the mountains.
Welcome to the Himalayas! Tell me you know the difference between a paper and a tabloid, Athena.
It might show up in the forest where you live, Junie.
Snow cone?
So you better watch out, okay? trying to cheer her up. You really should read the story for yourself. I couldn't even begin to do it justice. Oh, justice? Way to go, Athena! Huh? Oh, poor Apollo! It's all my fault. Oh, Judy! What was I thinking? I'm so sorry! Yeah, way to go, Athena.
What we found yesterday was not Apollo's dead body, thank God. He'd been assaulted by someone with a blow to the head and was lying unconscious.
Yeah, in reality, a rock to the head, you're dead.
Well, depends where it hits in the head. And the speed.
Yeah.
We rushed him to the hospital right away, and it looks like he's going to pull through. But it was still quite a shock to stumble onto a scene like that. Is Miss Woods alright, Athena?
Well, I managed to get her to stop crying. Now she's resting on the sofa over there.
I guess she really feels responsible for what happened to Apollo.
Poor Junie. She believes that the reason Apollo was attacked is because he was helping her look for something in that courtroom.
Oh, guess I can see why she'd think that. By the way, how are you doing?
Who, me?
Yeah, I know you're concerned about Miss Woods, but are you alright?
Me? I'm doing just fine, boss. She's lying. I mean, yeah, it was a huge shock, but I'm alright. People who study analytical psychology are great at times like these. After all, they learn how to control their own emotions, too. Or in your case, bury your own trauma.
Somehow I don't think it's as easy as she makes it sound. But there's no denying she's a real trooper. Apollo doesn't remember a thing, does he?
Yeah, he can't recall anything from the time right before he was assaulted. Nothing about what he was doing in courtroom number 4 or who assaulted him. The doctor said it's probably due to the hit that he took to the head.
I wonder if I can speed up the text, because it is going a little slow.
Yeah. So,
Nothing
no.
about text speed. Oh well.
Alright. I think, couldn't you, like, press the A button, like, immediately?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Assaulted in a court of law and losing your memory at that. I know how that feels.
But who in the world would do such a thing, huh, Mr. Wright? Ugh! Just wait till I get my hands on the tower to hurt Apollo!
Now, Athena. I thought you said you were in control of your emotions. Let's just focus on helping Miss Woods, okay? But I admit, I'm just as upset as you.
Okay, boss. You're right. Apollo's assailant can wait until after we've cleared Junie's name.
That's the spirit. Now let's see. I better check the court record one more time before the trial starts. Yeah. Usual crap.
Yeah, we're good. We good. Alright, to Mr. Wright. I'm ready whenever you are.
Alright, let's get ready to rumble.
You bet. Let's get ready to rumble. What? I said rumble, not rubble.
Rumbling. With everything that happened with Apollo, I didn't have time for a proper investigation. I can't let that stop me, though. I have to get this right for Miss Wood's sake, and Apollo's too. No, wasn't it the second game he got amnesia? Because he was attacked?
Yeah, Justice for All, the tutorial trial, he got amnesia. And it was only an excuse to rush the player. Hey, you remember what to do, right?
Yeah, quite clever, actually.
Yeah. That is so cool! I love this!
All rise.
Now sit on it.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is also ready, Your Honor.
Now then, I believe I instructed the prosecution to further their investigation. Were you able to locate the remote switch in question?
I'm afraid the remote switch is still missing, Your Honor.
I must say, I'm disappointed, Mr. Payne. Not angry, just disappointed.
I apologize, Your Honor. Aha! Looks like the prosecution is just as unprepared as I am. There is a separate matter, however, that I would like to bring up during this trial.
A separate matter, you say? And what might that be?
I assumed you are aware that another incident occurred during yesterday's trial. I'm speaking, of course, of the assault on Mr. Justice in the ruins of courtroom number 4. Uh-oh, why is he bringing that up?
Yes, what a truly harrowing experience it must have been. Poor Mr. Justice.
At the time of the attack, Mr. Justice was not alone. He was with the defendant, Miss Juniper Woods. He isn't going where I think he's going with this, is he? The prosecution wishes to indict Miss Woods on the charge of Mr. Justice's assault.
But he's not dead.
Yeah, but it's still assault.
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the incident under deliberation here in the court is the courtroom bombing. The assault on Mr. Justice has nothing to do with the trial.
Ah, but I believe there is a connection between the case and Mr. Justice's assault. Please take a moment to consider these facts. Both events occurred in courtroom number 4. This is the location in courtroom number 4 where the unconscious Mr. Justice was discovered. As you can see, it's quite close to where Detective Arm's body was found.
Thank you.
The question is, why did the culprit feel the need to maliciously attack Mr. Justice?
Why indeed? What do you believe their motive to be, Mr. Payne?
I believe Mr. Justice found something in that courtroom while Miss Woods was with him. Evidence that fingered her as the perpetrator of the bombing.
You mean he found some incriminating evidence?
Precisely. And so, I surmise that the defendant picked up a piece of rubble and hit Mr. Justice on the back of the head in order to silence him.
Objection!
Ginny would never do such a thing! She was devastated when we found Apollo hurt like that!
Miss Sykes, please control your outbursts.
It is the prosecution's belief that by deliberating on Mr. Justice's assault, we will draw ever closer to the truth of the courtroom bombing itself.
Very well. Miss Woods is hereby officially indicted on the charge of assaulting Mr. Justice.
What? Why are you listening to Mr. Dupé over there? Although considering our conversation yesterday...
I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Wonder what it was.
He told me, I'm gonna look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper.
Maybe the two incidents really are related after all. I would like to start by hearing from the defendant herself.
Very well. Bailiff, please bring Miss Woods to the witness stand.
I'm sorry. I can't see them stop.
Miss Woods. Guess she's still really upset about Apollo. Miss Woods, you went to the ruins of courtroom number 4 with Mr. Justice, did you not?
Yes, I did.
Good, good. If you would, then please testify about what happened to the court.
During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing. Apollo stayed with me and we went to this courtroom ruins together. But then I was called back to this courtroom to give the testimony. Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4. I swear I didn't attack Apollo. Why were I such a kind person?
So Mr. Justice stayed by your side while you were feeling unwell. What an admirable young man. I thought his loud voice was his only outstanding feature.
He may look like a little imp at times, but Apollo can be really nice too.
Meanwhile, in the hospital... I hope she didn't hurt her wrist backhanding that one out.
But one has to wonder, why did Mr. Justice stay behind in the ruins?
I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Something? What kind of something?
Something to do with the courtroom bombing kind of something, I think.
Oh, new evidence for the case, was it? That's a very big kind of something indeed.
I believe so. He mentioned looking for some evidence when I was called away.
Just as I thought. There is a connection between the two incidents. But the defendant has told a very big lie, Your Honor.
What lie is that?
When she learned Mr. Justice would be looking for evidence, she attacked him. She attacked him to give herself the chance to destroy that evidence.
No! I never!
Miss Woods repaid Mr. Justice's kindness with violence. We found the proof of her foul deed there in the courtroom ruins. What on earth? Do you see it? There in front of Mr. Justice's right hand?
Ah, the classic.
Witness the message he left us.
It's written in blood. W-O-O-D-S. Why, isn't that...
That's right, Your Honor. It says Woods in capital letters.
Oh. What?
I submit that Mr. Justice left us with the name of his attacker before he fainted.
The old trope. No! That can't be true! Why would Apollo write my name? Mr. Wright! The nerve of him leaving that message! Why would he do this?
Hey, don't take it out on me! I don't understand it any more than you do! When we discovered Apollo yesterday... Apollo!
No. Ah!
We didn't even have a chance to rush over to him. As soon as security heard Athena scream, they ran in and cordoned off the area. After that, they were in courtroom number 4 with Apollo the whole time. We couldn't investigate anything ourselves, and we had to leave everything to the police. Still, I never thought they would find some bloody writing there.
Now then, please begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Press on the second statement.
Hold it!
Why exactly did you go to the courtroom ruins?
We went to look for my medicine. To stop my coughing.
Your medicine? Why would your medicine be in courtroom number 4?
I dropped it in the heat of the moment. Bum Rap Briny. He was keeping my medicine safe for me. He has a little compartment that I can put in things in, you see?
And Phony Fanti has the same type of pocket. That's where the bomb was inserted.
I had put my medicine for my coughing fits inside Bum Rap Briny. When I told Apollo about it, he said he'd help me go look for him. There was so much rubble in there. I was worried, but there was no rubble or anything in front of the witness stand. So when we got inside, Apollo went straight there and started looking for my Rhiney in their area. It was so nice of him to do that for me, in spite of all his injuries. Apollo was so strong and kind, just like the trees of the forest.
Bless you.
Thank you.
The way she makes him sound, you think Apollo was some kind of ancient god. Get it?
I get it. Ha 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 ha!
Oh, wait.
So, that's why you went to the ruins. I see. That seems to be quite an important fact. Please add it to your testimony, Miss Woods.
Apollo started looking for Bum Rap Briny near the witness stand, where there was no rubble. Present the courtroom diagram.
Objection!
So he started his search with the witness stand, you say?
That's right. I guess maybe he wanted to start from the furthest point in the room. He's being so brave and strong.
But that's odd. Under the circumstances, he shouldn't have been capable of that.
But he was, and he still is! He might not look it, but it really is brave. Also kind, too.
No, that's not the part I'm finding fault with. Someone has a crush on Apollo. But what you're claiming is something that no one should have been able to do.
But I should think that anyone can be brave and kind if they wanted to be, Mr. Wright.
True, anyone can be brave and kind, but if you would please take a look at this diagram. With the courtroom in this state, how is it possible to walk up to the witness stand?
Oh!
I see your point. The rubble blocks off access to that area around the witness stand.
Does such a tiny inconsistency even matter? Perhaps the witness is simply misremembering it. Ugh. Great, now I'm not so sure it matters. A real man doesn't make mountains out of molehills, you know. What?
But that's precisely what Mr. Wright does best.
I call slander, Your Honor!
So, was it really impossible to approach the witness stand? I have to say, it's a bit hard to tell with any accuracy from just this diagram. Mr. Payne, do you have any other photos of the crime scene?
Let me see, Your Honor. Ah, yes, I have one more. Here it is. It's a more pulled-back version of the photo I presented before.
Thank you. We'll take that.
Huh? What's that hunk of metal on wheels? Mr. Payne, is the metallic object in that photo Mr. Tenate's bomb transport case? That's right. Is there some problem?
Ah, yes, that transport case was there in courtroom number 4 when the bomb went off. It must have been there ever since.
Oh! That's it!
Miss Woods, have you remembered something?
Yes! I just realized. Its position is different from before.
Its position? The position of what?
The position of that big metal thing.
The bomb transport case?
Yes. When Apollo and I went there, it was in a different place. But the cases in the photo was open space, so it was easy to search the stand.
I see. So where was the transport case when you and Mr. Justice saw it?
As I recall, I think it was more to the right.
To the right? What? Then that means... In that case, the case was over there at the time of Apollo's attack. Who cares where the transport case was? Was when? What difference does it make? It has nothing at all to do with what we were talking about.
Objection!
Rude. Where the transport case was has everything to do with this discussion. In fact, it's so important that it's enough to turn the prosecution's argument on its ear. What?
Well, that certainly sounds very relevant indeed. And you sound as though you were sound as though where the case was and you sound as though you know where the case was at the time of the attack.
Yes, Your Honor. This diagram represents the crime scene as shown in the photo. And this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault on Mr. Justice. Alright, I have this. The bomb transport case was here at the time of Apollo's attack.
The area of the bloody writing.
Take that!
Your Honor, I assert that this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault.
But that's...
Inconceivable! Miss Woods, was this where the transport case was when you saw it?
Yes! Yes, that's where it was!
Thank you, Miss Woods. I'm sure the court has noted an interesting fact about this position.
The transport case covers up the writing in blood.
Exactly. If the transport case was in that position at the time of the assault, then no message could have been written there because the case was in the way. Which leads us to conclude that Mr. Justice couldn't have left that bloody writing.
Objection!
Why should we believe the defendant's claim that the case was in a different position? She's obviously lying.
Objection!
The fact that the case was moved after the assault on Mr. Justice is proved by more than Miss Wood's testimony alone. What? And where is this proof you're talking about? It's right here in the crime photo.
I'm keen to see this proof myself, Mr. Wright. What in this photo indicates that the transport case was moved after the assault?
Present the part of Apollo's bandages with wheel marks over them.
Yep.
Take that!
Please take a look at the mark that runs over Mr. Justice's bandages here.
I see it, but what is it?
This mark was made by one of the casters from the transport case carrying the bomb. As the case was moved, it ran over his bandages. In other words, the transport case was originally to the right of Mr. Justice. Then after Mr. Justice was assaulted, the transport case was moved. What? Just as Miss Woods said, the case was covering the writing of the time of the assault. Therefore, it was impossible for Mr. Justice to have left the message in blood. No!
You did it, boss! It was a real nail-biter, but you pulled it off! And guys, if you think back, who was also bleeding that day?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
That should bring down the prosecution's claim like a house of cards.
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, that was a very clever deduction.
Ah, it was nothing, Your Honor. Nothing but pure genius. Take that!
Boss, I'm sensing a definite smug and braggy vibe coming off of you.
I have just one question, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
If Mr. Justice didn't leave the message written in blood, then who did?
Huh?
What?
Oh! Well,
Who was bleeding that day?
looks like I should have taken that train of thought through the last station. Well, I've heard a lot about this. So this is Mr. Wright's famous bluffing technique, is it?
Ah, this feeling. It brings back memories of the old days. Back when you carved out a name for yourself by bluffing your way through thick and thin.
Gee, Mr. Wright, the judge kind of makes you sound no better than a two-bit con man.
You made your argument with such confidence, Mr. Wright. Now I'd like to hear your answer with just as much confidence. Hey, until the judge asked the question, you didn't catch on either, Buster.
What now, boss?
I hope you didn't bluff your way into a corner. Think, Phoenix, think! There must be a way through this. I have to dig my way through the truth somehow. Who could have written that message in blood?
Someone else.
If it wasn't Apollo, who could have left the bloody message?
Hand disarm. Because remember, she had a blunt to the head too, and she was bleeding.
Take that!
To be honest, I don't actually have any real proof of this. But I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Besides Apollo, there was one more person who shed blood at this crime scene.
A person who shed blood? You don't mean...
Oh, but I do. I believe it was Candace Arm, who left behind this message in blood.
What?
What? Detective Arm? Are you sure you know what you're doing there?
Not really.
Objection!
What is it, Broly? What kind of ridiculous assertion is that? If you'd said the attacker left the message to throw people off, it might have made sense. At first glance, that would seem to be the most reasonable explanation. However, Apollo didn't shed enough blood to write such an extensive message. Uh-oh.
I see! Even the photo makes it clear there wasn't enough blood to write all those letters. And Mr. Justice did survive. I suppose he didn't bleed very extensively in that case.
But why would Detective Arm write the defendant's name? There's no connection between the two whatsoever.
And I didn't even know the lady who was killed.
I admit the investigation didn't turn up any connection between the victim and defendant. They had never even met each other. That's very true. Well then, let's see. Then maybe the intended meaning of the message is not what it appears to be.
The intended meaning?
Not what it appears to be.
Maybe the messaging was not intended to be woods?
Coming from you, that's quite the bold statement, Mr. Wright. You wish to assert that this bloody writing could have had some other meaning?
Again, these sentences take a whole new meaning if you say them in a British accent.
I know.
You wish to assert that this bloody writing could have some other meaning? Yes, Your Honor. For something I pulled out of a wormhole, it could turn out to be true, right?
Objection!
It clearly says woods, as anyone can plainly see. What other meaning could it possibly have?
Objection!
But Candace Arm was a detective. Maybe woods maybe woods only means something to the police. Like a police scanner code, for example.
That's true.
I didn't think of that.
You may have tricked His Honor, but you'll never get the best of me. I have a thing for studying on the weekends, as you may have already guessed. There's no such radio code as woods in this state, dear Wright. Is that a fact?
Don't look at me. I know as much as you do about police codes.
I got a 1034 at courtroom number 4.
Enough of this. I was quite taken with the defense's new theory. But if they can't substantiate it with anything, then I must end things here.
No, please wait, Your Honor.
Very well, but before we discuss this theory any further, I demand a plausible explanation. So, Mr. Wright, what is the true meaning of the bloody writing?
What is the true meaning of the bloody writing? Well, I believe it's...
And no stalling! If you can't come up with an answer quickly, I will declare this discussion officially over.
I'm in trouble now. What other meaning could it have besides the obvious one? Maybe it means something in another language? Or maybe it's a code. Think, Phoenix. You can do this.
Which piece of evidence will tell us what the word woods really means?
The bomb transport case.
Take that!
The bomb transport case? I've had it up to here with your shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Wishy, that's not the same Winston. That's not the same Payne. You're thinking of Winston Payne. That's Gaspin Payne, his brother.
Yep.
And he's 10 times the dickhead that Winston was.
Yep.
Yeah, Winston Payne was just a silly comic relief character. This one is a genuine asshole.
Yes. And if in real life he'd be thrown out.
Well, it's kind of a lawyer's job to be a bit of an asshole in the court, to be fair.
But not like that.
Take a look at the numbers on this case, Your Honor. L10... Say it, speak English, Mark. L10015R. Doesn't this string look vaguely familiar?
L10... Wait, what does that have to do with anything?
What could those numbers possibly have to do with the case at hand? Now please take a look at the bloody writing shown in the crime photo.
Oh, I think I see it.
That a girl. That's one on my side.
It says woods.
Or you could say it's a horse of a different color, Your Honor. The first character isn't W, it's actually an L and a 1. The next two are zeros.
Oh, my goodness!
The true meaning behind the bloody writing isn't Miss Wood's name. It's the number engraved on the bomb transport case.
Objection!
What are you talking about? The next part doesn't make any sense. The next number is a 1, but the bloody writing says D.
Objection!
But the number on the case and the bloody writing can be made to match up quite easily. I'm sorry, as a British person, I cannot take saying bloody so many times seriously.
I know.
This is how the numbers on the transport case can be made to match the bloody writing.
Erase 2 lines.
The bloody writing! Please erase the third downward stroke of the W and the curved part of the D.
Aha!
Well, would you look at that? L-I-O-O-I-S?
No, Your Honor. It's not meant to read as a word. It's the number L10015, which, if you take away the final R, is the exact number that's on the bomb transport case.
Objection!
Erase 2 lines and they match up, you say? Well, I can change anything into anything else simply by erasing 2 lines. What if we erase 2 lines from your name? Would you be happy as Mr. Rye?
Well, would you, Mr. Rye?
The only right spelling is W-R-I-G-H-T. Okay, I'm doing pretty well here, and I think I've drawn the right conclusions. Detective Arm's real message to us is the bomb transport case number. Your Honor, the 2 lines were added by the real culprit to intentionally mislead people. What? The original message Detective Arm left behind was the transport case number. But whoever assaulted Apollo changed the message.
If you're right, boss, then what do you suppose Detective Arm was trying to tell us?
Good question. What does this number represent? Do you see this number here? That is my identification number. Nerd. Candace Arm lost her life in the courtroom bombing. Her dying message could only have had one purpose. No! To tell us the name of the one responsible for the bombing.
And just like that, he exposed himself.
Well, don't keep us in suspense, Mr. Wright. Tell us who she was trying to name.
The culprit that the victim was trying to identify is none other than...
Detonate!
Take that!
Ted Tenate. The defense wishes to indict Mr. Ted Tenate on the charge of the courtroom bombing.
Ted Tenate?
Apparently disabling bombs isn't Mr. Tenate's only speciality. Somehow the victim must have realized that he was the bomber. So when he was caught in the blast, she left his bomb transport case number as her dying message. She used Mr. Tenate's own ID number to finger him for the crime.
Objection!
Why would anyone go out of their way to write an ID number? Wouldn't they simply write the person's name? He's got a good point there.
What do you have to say to that, Mr. Wright?
That only Detective Arm would know the answer to that, but allow me to offer a theory. Perhaps Detective Arm couldn't recall Mr. Tenate's name in the heat of the moment. As I recall, this was the first meeting between the two. It's entirely possible they wouldn't have been familiar with each other.
Or maybe using the ID number was the way to hide its true meaning from the real culprit. Thus, lowering the odds that they would erase the bloody writing.
But no matter what the reason, the important thing is the meaning behind her message. The fact remains she wrote Mr. Tenate's ID number.
Objection!
Now just one moment here. There hasn't been any proof yet that it was indeed Detective Arm who wrote it. The bloody writing wasn't found during the investigation after the blast. If Detective Arm had left the message, it should have been found at the time.
Objection!
Rude. Naturally, Mr. Tenate hid it before anyone could discover it. And there's a simple explanation for how he was able to do so. What? Mr. Tenate was able to cover up the message up because he's...
Was the first to find the body!
The first person to discover the bloody writing was Mr. Tenate himself. I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body.
Aha!
When Mr. Tenate saw the victim had written his ID number, he used the bomb transport case to cover up the bloody writing as a stopgap measure.
Oh, so that's why the message in blood was under the transport case.
He didn't have enough time to write and tried to scrub away the writing. No, she's not a robot. He just used a speech synthesis program to talk, for some reason.
Yeah.
If he didn't report the body right away, he would look suspicious. So those letters lived to serve another function. When Mr. Tenate used them in another incident.
Oh, the assault on Mr. Justice?
Exactly. Mr. Tenate hit upon a plan to use the bloody writing for his own purposes. So he didn't clean it away. Instead, he made it look like Mr. Justice wrote it by adding 2 lines to the writing that Detective Arm left behind. He changed the meaning of the message. He made it look like Mr. Justice was accusing Miss Woods of the attack.
So that means...
The only person who could have altered the bloody writing was the courtroom bomber, who was the same person that assaulted Mr. Justice. And that person is Ted Tenate.
Order in the court! Order, I say! It looks like we will have to hear from the bomb specialist himself. Mr. Payne, please have Mr. Tenate take the witness stand.
Yes, Your Honor.
It was great, Mr. Wright.
Just doing what I do best, which is flying by the seat of my pants. Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try. I've finally drawn Mr. Tenate back into the witness stand. Looks like you'll get your wish, Goggle Man. Now watch me take your lies apart.
Mr. Tenate, I'm afraid we have a few more questions for you.
I understand the situation, Your Honor. I was keeping a close eye on the proceedings from the gallery. The allegations are all laughable.
Objection!
I wouldn't be laughing if I were you, Mr. Tenate. The message in blood matches your ID number. The same ID number that's there on that bomb transport case. Such a far-fetched theory, no better than a tangled ball of wires. I'll have them untangled for you in no time at all. You were the first person on the scene after Detective Arm left her message in blood. You were the only one who could have hidden the writing, and then used it again later. I see, ×2. But then, let me ask you. Do you have any proof that Detective Arm wrote that message?
That's a very good question. Well, do you, Mr. Wright?
The best way to prove it that Detective Arm wrote that message is to...
Analyze the DNA.
Your Honor, I requested a DNA test be performed on the blood itself. Once we know who it is, it will be obvious who wrote the message.
Very well. Bailiff, please put in a request for a DNA test with the forensics team.
Yes, Your Honor.
It will be some time before we have the results of the analysis. Until then, let's hear more from the witness.
I would like nothing more, Your Honor. I want the court to hear how ridiculous the defense's theory is.
Okay, Bomber.
I see what you did there.
Whatever you say, Bomber!
I admit, I was the first one on the scene after the explosion, but there was no bloody writing there at the time. Anyway, there is no way Detective Arm could have written it. She struck her head on the rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. She was too far away from where the bloody message was found.
You're a liar.
So you're saying the victim's body was nowhere near where the writing was? Precisely. It is as plain as day that she could not have written it. It's true that the body was discovered near the entrance to the courtroom. Please have a look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there is blood on the rubble near the victim's body. She must have died after hitting her head there.
Thank you.
I see. All right then, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
Do you have what it takes to take my infallible testimony apart?
Present her autopsy report on the 4th statement.
Hold it!
Whoops.
Oh.
Wrong button. Do you imagine she was thrown back by the force of the blast? A bomb can inflict damage not only from the explosion itself, but also substantial secondary damage from the blast wind. Detective Arm unfortunately hit her head on some rubble. It's stated in her autopsy report as well, cause of death, trauma to back of head. Ah, the autopsy report. I'd better take another look at that. Now, do you see Detective Arm could not have written that message? The reason for that being...
Yeah. Go back.
Objection!
You're a terrible liar, Mr. Tenate. Take a look at this autopsy, specifically the part about Detective Arm's head injury.
Bushi, I wouldn't joke about that.
Cause of death, trauma to the back of the head, caused by impact with a flat object. Yes, what about it? Now take a good look at the bloody piece of rubble. It's sharp and pointed.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you're right, boss. It is pointy. Just like your hair and Apollo's.
That is odd, isn't it? What could be the meaning of this contradiction?
I believe it means the victim did not hit her head on this piece of rubble. The bloodstain you see is just another fabrication. Its purpose is to mislead us into thinking the victim died near the courtroom entrance. Are you claiming the culprit moved the victim's body? That's exactly what I'm claiming. The victim hit her head at some other location, most likely on the floor or some other flat surface. And this location was somewhere near the bloody writing where the bloody writing was found.
In that case, you definitely could have written the message.
Your Honor, I have the results of the bloodstain analysis. Ah, very good timing. Let's take a look. According to this report, the message was written in Detective Arm's blood. As the defense claims, only the parts of the message that were added afterwards were written in Mr. Justice's blood. It would appear that the defense's assertion is correct after all.
Thank you very much. Yes, you did it! You were right, boss!
Now I have to drive it home. I'll have to take a good look at the bloody writing analysis later.
Mr. Tenate, it is now apparent that you have told several lies to this court. I hope you have some sort of explanation for yourself, because if this is real life, you'd be charged with perjury.
Fine, I will confess. You will? But then, why are you so calm? This time, I will tell the truth. It is true that Detective Arm wrote my ID number. She very plainly wrote L10015R. I was shocked, but I did not detonate the bomb. Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad.
I see. So it is your assertion that you merely moved the body, is that it?
That is correct. I did not kill Detective Arm.
But wait, you said she wrote your number.
Oh,
So, that means you saw it. You knew about it. So it was you.
well, if that's all you did, then... Wait a minute! That in it is itself a criminal act!
Glad to see you finally crossed that finish line, Your Honor.
Very well, then. Your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright.
Present the bloody writing analysis on the second statement, because it proves that he covered it up.
Objection!
I just want to make doubly sure that L10015R is really what you saw written in blood. Yes, it is very clearly L10015R. But that's odd, because that's not what I see.
Objection!
What on earth are you babbling on about now? Wasn't it you who claimed the bloody writing and was his ID number in the first place? Take a good look at the photo in the bloody writing analysis. Now tell me, does it really say L10015R?
There's something next to the S.
Oh! Something is missing, isn't it? And that something is the final R.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Tenate?
Oh, right. Now I remember. There was no R on the end. It was just a slip of the finger. My bad. Come back, my beautiful contradiction.
Mr. Wright, I'm not so sure it was just a simple slip of the finger.
You have something for me, Athena?
I sense that he is extremely agitated, almost panicked.
He does look pretty flustered. You don't say!
Well, Mr. Wright, it appears it was nothing more than a mere mistake.
I don't know. Did he really just make a typo? What about that R? Did Mr. Tennate really see it?
He actually saw it.
Yeah, chat says you're a bit muted.
Hello? How about now? Hello?
Okay. Maybe
Or you can just turn me up.
Maybe Mr. Tennate did see the R. But there's no R anywhere in the bloody writing. What's going on here?
Dude, look what's next to the S.
Huh? Now that I take another good look at the photo, I think maybe that's it.
What is it now, Mr. Wright? Are you trying to imitate Apollo and his cords of steel?
I've got it. So that's what happened. A slip of the finger. Is that really all it was? Because I don't think so. I propose that Mr. Tennate really did see the letter R. But the photo clearly shows that there was no R. No,
Photo clearly shows there was no R.
No, Your Honor. Actually, just the opposite is true. The photo shows that Mr. Tennate actually could have seen the R.
If you're going to make this claim, then you'd better be able to point out what you mean. What part of the photo shows that Mr. Tennate could have seen the R?
That little bit of blood right there next to the S.
Take that!
Please look here to the right of the 5. Do you see a little bit of red?
Oh, I see it! Just on the edge of where the floor is broken up.
That's the R that Mr. Tennate saw.
Objection!
It's true that the witness wears some very, very odd goggles. But that doesn't mean his eyesight is bad, nor his brain power. What part of that little smudge looks like an R to you?
Objection!
But what Mr. Tennate saw wasn't that little smudge. There was a whole and complete R written there, before the floor was damaged by the explosion.
Oh, well, that explains it. Huh?
Care to explain what you mean? Because you just proposed that everything happened to the exact opposite order.
Yep, because that's the way it really went down. The timing of when the R was written turns everything about this case around. Now then, if the floor was damaged by the explosion, when was the message written?
Before the explosion.
With the bloody message running off the edge of the damaged floor like that, we can only conclude that it was written before the explosion. But that's ridiculous!
If that were true, it overturns your own premise.
That's right, it does. In fact, it turns everything upside down. The victim was not killed by the explosion in the courtroom. She was killed before the explosion ever occurred.
Order! Order in the court!
What kind of preposterous claim is that? Have you forgotten that the victim's body was found at the scene of the explosion?
Objection!
True, but consider this scenario. She was hit on the head and killed before the explosion, or even before the trial began. Her body was subsequently placed in the courtroom ruins after the bombing occurred. That way, it could be made to look like she was a victim of the blast. What?
It sounds like we had better look into what the victim was doing before the trial. Mr. Payne, did anyone see Detective Arn before the trial?
Let's see. According to the police report... here it is. One person saw the victim before the trial. And that person was... Ted Tennate.
Yep.
Wait, what?
No one besides Mr. Tennate saw the victim?
That appears to be the case, Your Honor.
Busted! ...
I would now ask the court to recall something. Specifically, Mr. Tenate's words from yesterday. It was when Detective Arm and I were transporting the bomb.
Oh my!
Mr. Tenate, just before the trial, you were with the victim. The two were together at the scene of the crime, courtroom number 4. Merd. Your Honor, the defense requests new testimony from Mr. Tenate. We wish to hear what he has to say about his whereabouts just before the trial.
Mr. Tenate, your testimony, please.
My testimony? There was no need for what?
He's completely unnerved, Mr. Wright. You must have hit the nail on the head.
Because of like the transport bomb to the 3 courtroom. I already told you, pal, to be something. Ah, bless this thing. I was only in the courtroom with the victim because of our work. I swear I was only transporting the bomb there.
Objection!
You and the victim were alone together at the scene of the crime. In other words, you certainly had the opportunity to commit murder, did you not?
Objection!
Tisk tisk. Do you always leave yourself so open to attacks, Mr. Wright? What now, Mr. Payne? Yes, Mr. Tenate may have had the opportunity to kill Detective Arm. But an important piece of your assertion is missing. What important piece? The murder weapon. What did you claim was used to kill the victim?
Mr. Payne has a point. Even if Mr. Tenate had the chance without a weapon, we can't accuse him of the crime.
Well, Mr. Tenate? Oh, yes, that's right. I didn't have any sort of thing that could be used as a murder weapon on me. I couldn't possibly have killed Detective Arm.
Yeah, you did. There was a murder weapon. The bomb!
Did he really have nothing he could use as a murder weapon? What is it, Athena?
Just looking over the victim's autopsy report. I'm hoping there's something in here that can point us in the right direction.
What does it say? What? It does say she died from trauma to the back of the head with a flat object.
Yeah, and to inflict that specific kind of injury. All you would need is a flat surface, right?
A heavy blunt object with a flat surface could definitely be our murder weapon.
Well, Mr. Wright, can you indicate for the court what was used to kill Detective Arm?
I believe I can. Believe being the key word here.
You can? Then please do so now. What did Mr. Tenate have that could have been used as the murder weapon?
The HH-3000 bomb!
Take that!
Mr. Tenate, you say you didn't have anything that could be used as a weapon. But in fact, you had the perfect thing.
What? What the devil are you talking about?
You had this.
That's the bomb! I thought you were trying to prove that the victim wasn't killed by the bomb blast.
The bomb blast, no, but I believe Candace Arm was killed with this bomb. Because the blunt object that she delivered... because this is the blunt object that delivered the fatal blow to her head.
Ah!
Please recall the description of Detective Arm's head wound. Trauma to the back of the head caused by impact with a flat object. We assumed this injury was sustained when her head hit the floor. But a blow from any flat side of this bomb would produce the exact same wound pattern. What's with him? Then show me some proof! Where's the evidence that I hit the victim with the bomb? He's right. I don't have anything decisive. Did you find any of the victim's blood on the bomb? That would be decisive proof. But too bad. The bomb is blown to bits. It's long gone. Boom! Game over. Yeah!
Game over, yeah! Mr. Wright, is there really nothing on the bomb in the photo? Also, there's a huge fucking case. You could put a body in there to move it.
Ugh, I don't see any blood or anything. Wait. Oh, wait.
Wait, there's the timer display is a little broken here. Yep, the timer's broken. Maybe it broke when it made contact with Detective Arm's head.
That's definitely a distinct possibility. But unless we find a fragment with the victim's blood on it, it's not going to count.
Ugh, I guess you're right.
By setting off the bomb, Tate managed to obliterate all traces of the murder weapon. What in the world do I do now? At times like this, I've got to change gears and look at things in a different way. Instead of looking for the things he wasn't able to hide, I should be looking for a way to expose the things he did hide. Ted Tenate murdered Detective Arm before the trial started. Then he placed her body in the courtroom after the bomb went off, which means there was something he needed to keep hidden until then. And I think I have just the thing. Time to present the photo that shows exactly what Mr. Tenate had to hide.
The courtroom bombing.
This?
Yes.
Take that!
Your Honor, there's something we've all been overlooking. If the murder took place before the trial, then Mr. Tenate would have had to hide the body somewhere during the trial.
Hey, you're right. If we can figure out where that hiding place was.
Exactly. We might be able to find some evidence we can pin him down with. So where could Mr. Tenate have hidden the body during the trial?
In the transport case.
Wait, a box big enough for a body. A box that was in the courtroom the whole time. A box nobody would touch if they thought there was a bomb in it. Mr. Tenate! What is it? Do you finally have some decisive evidence to show me? No, you're the one who's going to show it to me. Come again? You heard me. Now, show me what's inside that bomb transport case. What? Why? No, there's no need! I've got him now. Just before the trial, you killed the victim with a blunt object. And then you placed her body in the ruins of the courtroom after the bomb went off. Clearly, you were trying to make it look like she died in the explosion. But where was the body hidden during the trial? Oh, I hadn't thought of that! The answer is right here. Inside a box made of thick alloy plating that can withstand any impact. No, that's, completely false. If it's false, you should have no objections to showing us your transport case. So, let's open it up and take a look inside, shall we? Hold it! Or, hold it. Let's not. Not if you value your life. What's he up to now?
Another bomb threat?
Remain calm and listen carefully. This bomb will detonate in 5 minutes.
No,
What?
it won't. No,
Huh?
it won't.
I repeat, this HH3000 will detonate in 5 minutes.
No, it won't.
What's going on? Your Honor, I recommend you adjourn this trial before this bomb goes off. Mr. Tenate, are you threatening me? I am the only one who can disable this bomb. If you do not want to die, your only option is to listen to me. But Mr. Tenate, didn't you say that's just a training model? A fake to practice on? I did, but I also lied. This is the real deal. This is the HH3000. But the HH3000 was used to blow up courtroom number 4, wasn't it? How did you know it was the real HH3000 that blew up courtroom number 4? Huh? The bomb that blew up the courtroom was a different one. One that I made. What? Then, are we to take that as a confession on your part? Take it any way you would like. Yeah, it means you're a terrorist.
Yes.
Just before the trial, I took the HH-3000 out of the stuffed animal and put my own bomb into it. That was the bomb that exploded and destroyed courtroom number 4. Mr. Tenate, please be reasonable. Do you really expect us to believe a crazy story like that? The HH-3000, it is so unique. I had never seen anything like it. It is so unique that I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. So, I just had to have it. Besides, did anyone look inside the stuffed animal during the trial? Did anyone check to see if it really was the HH-3000 in there?
I must confess, no one opened the stuffed animal to check.
So there's really is a possibility that the bomb was switched out? No, not a possibility. A certainty. I did it. So he had a real bomb with him this whole time? You had better get out of here while you can. You do not have much time.
It won't work. It's not gonna work.
Order! Order in the court!
I'm out of here! It's gonna blow! Run!
I'm not going anywhere.
You 4 are still here. Well, aren't you brave?
It just wouldn't do for the judge presiding over this court to run. Again. But that horrible explosion the other day.
The judge looks like he's about to book it for the nearest exit any second. I mean, you can't blame him.
No.
As for Mr. Payne... That is...
Pussy.
And he's off.
Mr. Wright! What do we do?
Ugh. It'd be pretty pathetic to run now, wouldn't it?
But the bomb might really go off! It won't!
Only 3 more minutes, folks! Is that bomb really the HH-3000? What should I do?
Stand my ground. Buddy, get on our level because you're terrible at bluffing.
I can't run now. Well, it's been fun, but I will be going now. With my dear HH-3000, naturally. Oh, and by the way, I would advise against having me followed. Even with no remote switch, this bomb can still be triggered manually. If I think I'm being followed, I will detonate it on the spot. Farewell.
Hold it!
You're not going anywhere, Ted Tenate. Oh? Your Honor, there's no reason to be afraid. That bomb is a fake.
Are you sure, Mr. Wright?
More of your famous bluffing, even at the risk of your own life.
Mr. Wright, none of your bluffing now. Not at a time like this. Lives are on the line here.
I'm not bluffing, and I have proof.
You do?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. It's right here in the photo of the bomb, clear as day. Proof that Mr. Tenate's bomb is not the real HH-3000.
Really? Out with it then, immediately. Where's the proof that Mr. Tenate is holding is not the real HH-3000?
The cracked timer.
Take that!
The display for the timer on the bomb in the photo is broken. Most likely, it broke when Mr. Tenate used the bomb to attack Detective Arm. But the display on the bomb in front of us is not broken.
Oh, you're right.
Therefore, this is not the real HH-3000. Mr. Tenate was clearly lying when he said he switched out the bomb in the stuffed animal. The real HH-3000 blew up in courtroom number 4. The bomb is nothing more than a fake, a model used for training purposes. Fear not, Your Honor. I will examine the inside of this bomb transport case myself.
Yes, please do that, Mr. Wright.
No!
Gotcha.
Stop!
Gotcha, bitch! Ah, ha!
Well, I'll be damned.
What is that? Is that a bloodstain?
Just as I expected. Your lies have all been blown to bits, Mr. Tenate. I'm confident DNA analysis on this bloodstain will confirm that this is Detective Arm's blood. And that those results will conclusively prove that you murdered Detective Arm. How about it, Mr. Tenate? Think you can dismantle this decisive evidence? Dismantle it? You're too late. You missed your chance to run, so now you're out of time. This HH3000 is about to explode! Don't try to threaten us, Mr. Tenate. I've already proved that your bomb is a fake. It's real! This bomb is the real thing, I tell you! It's real! Mad bomb or party of one. There's no time left. It's going to blow. I have to disarm it. I have to take it apart. I can dismantle anything. I can take apart evidence. I can take apart bombs. I can dismantle it all. Dismantle, 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 dismantle. I'm not gonna make it. Only one thing left to do. What the? Stop!
Self-destruct.
Well.
Okay. You good, bro?
Made it! Wasted.
Kaboom.
Game over. Dismantle
Game.
attempt failed.
Game over, yeah!
Sonic is going full crazy. Oh yeah, the dude himself is crazy.
Look at his eyes! Holy shit!
It's all over. My life has been blown to pieces. It's all that stupid woman's fault. I was selling the bombs I disarmed on the black market. When I tried to take this one, she just had to notice, didn't she? She confronted me in courtroom number 4 that day. That's why I had no choice. Before I knew what I was doing, I hit her. It was all her fault. While I was looking for a place to hide her body, she left a message in her own blood. The trial was about to start, so I didn't have time to clean it up. And now all this. I thought for sure I could disguise her death with an explosion. Then that stupid defense attorney started sticking his nose into my business. After my testimony yesterday, I went to courtroom number 4 and I found that kid all up in my bomb transport case. That's when I snuck up behind him and bam! That's when the idiot police arrested that little girl. I thought for sure I could pin it all on her. Why? Oh, why?
Ted Tenate, you are hereby under arrest on suspicion of the courtroom bombing and the assault on Mr. Justice. Your innocence or guilt will be determined at a later trial. Now then, I see that members of the public have returned to the gallery. One person, however, seems still running far, far away. But be that as it may, I will now announce Miss Juniper Wood's verdict. Will that pink pony stop dropping that confetti? Anyway, court is adjourned.
Never break for my party cannon!
Jesus, I think that's the craziest I've ever went in this game.
I know. You did it, boss!
Yeah, I guess we managed to pull it off somehow.
So many mysteries put up all at once. It was amazing.
It just sort of worked out that way, didn't it?
It's not the kind of thing that usually just works out. You made it happen. And the way that mean old prosecutor hightailed out of there, that was great. Mr. Wright, Dina, thank you for everything you did for me. I'm so happy for you, Junie, that you can go back home to the forest in peace. I hope that both of you will come out and visit me there's sometime.
That would be nice. Thank you for the invitation.
I don't know, Mr. Wright. I'm not sure you can make it all the way up to Junie's house. How high do you live again, Junie? Around 3,000 feet, I think.
What? That's no forest, that's a mountain!
But you know, boss, there's something that still bothers me about the case. One little mystery we never got around to solving.
Oh, that? Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Is this the unsolved mystery you're thinking of?
The remote control, yeah, that red herring.
Take that!
Yeah, that was a red herring there.
The remote switch, right?
Yeah, I wonder what it disappeared to. Maybe Mr. Tenay just got rid of it somewhere.
Yeah, it is a pretty big thing to leave unsolved, though. Well, let's leave it up to the police to find. For now, we should be celebrating our not guilty verdict.
I guess you're right. Hey, I know. Junie, should we go report to the good news? You know, to that certain someone. Okay.
Huh? Her grandmother?
Apollo? No, silly, to Apollo!
Oh, right. Well, why don't we all go to the hospital together to see him?
Idea. I bet he's bored out of his mind. Okay.
And so the courtroom bombing case came to a close. But the next trial was just over the horizon. There's never a dull moment with so many lawyers in the office, that's for sure. Apollo Justice, Athena Sykes, and me, Phoenix Wright. Between the three of us, there's no case we can't solve. When our powers combine, we're an unstoppable team. At least, that's what I believed. But all of that changed with what Apollo said to us that day. It was something that would put my faith in us to the ultimate test. Date, wherever. Time, wherever. Write anything, agency.
Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence.
Wait, what do you mean by a leave?
Can you at least give me a reason why?
I can only say that this is something I must settle on my own.
Oh, why, Apollo? Why are you shutting us out?
What happened to you, Apollo? Ever since you put that jacket on, you've changed. And now, for whatever reason, all my mind keeps doing is returning to that day I first met you. We had tackled our first case together, he and I, this past spring. And as we did, I came to know who he is and how he thinks. It was a very peculiar case, one in which the victim was killed by a mythical creature.
But that's a story for another day.
Yep. End of case 1.
Yeah.
We did it!
Now this mad bomber has to go rest his vocal cords, especially after that last bit. Jesus.
I know, right?
I was freaking sweating.
I don't blame you. But yeah, do you guys understand why we said this game is more mature than the previous games?
Yeah.
It's a lot darker. Like, if the first 4 games were like Marvel, this game is DC.
Yeah, that's a good comparison, I'd say.
Yeah. That's not to say the previous games didn't have any dark moments either, but this, though, like, holy shit.
That'd be fun, Whooshy. But maybe once I've given my voice a rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you can see, this game is also a lot longer because that was just the prologue case and it took 2.5 hours.
Yes.
So this game is going to take quite a lot longer than the first 4.
Yeah.
Right. Before we go off and rest our vocal cords, anything else you want to say?
Nope, I'm good.
Alright folks, thanks for tuning in, and be sure to tune in next week for more GTA San Andreas. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.